When we think of scary things in Call of Duty, I'm sure it goes straight to zombies, which, don't get me wrong, is very creepy at times. And I have a short video related to COD's creepiness, and hopefully a longer one in a couple weeks. Today though, we're going to be covering the many chilling Easter eggs from 2004's finest hour to 2020's Cold War. I'll be sharing strange multiplayer map noises, the first zombies jump scare, and a satanic goat summon. This will all be in order from the oldest to the newest Call of Duty, starting from 2004's finest hour in the underground passage mission, heading into a large tunnel early in the mission, and throwing 2 grenades at a closed door. It will be swung open. Inside reveals a large circular room, floating candles in the air, and many odd paintings of babies and other faces framing the wall. Underneath the stairs is a large rat. And in front of the stairs is a man-sized baby in a crib who slowly walks and fades away. Overall, looking around with no one else, the room is filled with eerie oddities. Now the real creepiness starts. A few years later, in 2007's World at War, on the map Asylum, making our way to the bathrooms and standing between the stalls and tubs, you can hear several disturbing voices, cries, and mumbling. Heading into zombies, these strange sounds continue. On Verrucht, you can interact with this infamous chair where you can hear a man screaming. There's also crying near this morgue-like area. On Shinonuma, interacting with this phone at the back of the comms room, you can hear someone say this.
I know when you're sleeping.
Definitely the best disturbing details through all the Call of Duties. 2010's Black Ops was many people's first COD. I'd say it's as good as World at War. But the frightening stuff here is more minor. The one I think about though is on Keynote or Toten. In the room before the theater, behind a barrier, are 3 boxes. Coming from one of these boxes is someone pounding from inside. Thinking about it deeper is a little more creepy. You're trapped in a zombie-infested theater, inside a small box that you'll eventually die in, surrounded with the moans of zombies and your own pounds on the box's walls. Another knock can be heard in BO3's remade map of Kino. In the alley near a blue door, you can hear more knocking from inside. I'd say the same scenario of the box. It's better to die from starvation than being eaten alive, hearing your own knocks from inside. On to a more modern setting, 2011's MW3, the last of a legendary trilogy, focused on modern war, but nonetheless with a creepy Easter egg. Heading into the multiplayer map Sanctuary in the graveyard, listening near several headstones are audio clips of a family's vacation in London. Specifically from the Davis family vacation from the 8th mission cutscene, where you see a family get killed by an IED. Both audio and video are pretty disturbing. From the controversy of the cutscene to an Easter egg of the audio being put near gravestones, it's pretty creepy when you piece it all together. 2012's Black Ops 2, arguably one of the best of last-gen CODs, with multiplayer that was unforgettable and 4 great zombie maps. Starting on an Easter egg that is now a staple to zombies on the roof of Mob of the Dead using a sniper and scoping into the fireworks on the left side, you'll experience this jump scare. Also, a less known one, at an empty mystery box with the teddy bear on top, every so often it'll pick its head up and look around, just fast enough for you not to notice. If zombies weren't scary enough, now we have inanimate objects moving by themselves. Probably the most hated COD, but still for some reason very memorable to everyone that played it. 2013's Call of Duty Ghosts. Not entirely scary, but with a pretty fun and creepy Easter egg. When you get a field order on the map Fog, you can become Michael Myers. Taking place in a dark foresty map, if you're playing alone with friends, you can definitely turn it into a fun and scary hide and seek. From one of COD's worst years to maybe its best, at least in zombies that is, 2014's Black Ops 3. Very futuristic throughout the other game modes, but zombies stays on the ground. Zetsubo no Shima, considered one of the lesser maps, but to me I think it has some pretty chilling undertones. Starting off with the hallucinations on the map, there are a couple that are particularly hair-raising. One in the upper level of a research building that turns bloody with some uncanny audio. And another one in an underground room filled with test tubes containing bodies with this disturbing scene. There are also several character jump scares by staring at the back left test tube shown previously. You can also be eaten by a thrasher, more common than the others, but when you listen to it isolated, it sounds pretty disturbing. Although on multiplayer, it's very futuristic and doesn't contain anything out of the ordinary. There is a pretty daunting mannequin Easter egg though, on Nuketown. A couple notable ones, each one under 2 minutes. Shooting just the heads off will turn them into zombies. Shooting just the arms will make them act like the weeping angels from Doctor Who. I'm sure these aren't that unsettling, but put it in perspective of a public lobby or ultimately not knowing what's going on and having these once fake mannequins chase you, you can understand how they can be creepy. Nothing particularly scary for the next couple years until 2018's Black Ops 4, with only really one creepy memorable Easter egg. On the zombies map Alpha and Omega, here we go again with another mannequin Easter egg, this time another weeping angel mannequin that indefinitely chases you and is unkillable, activated by knifing 30 mannequins' heads off. If a never-ending zombie apocalypse isn't bad enough, now we have an unkillable stalking mannequin who may not move if you look at it, but runs disturbingly fast when you're not paying attention. Finally getting into some of the better ones, and away from mannequins and zombies, we have 2019's Modern Warfare 1 remake. On the multiplayer map Livestock, there are 8 stuffed animals. 4 of them have pairs on separate parts of the map. If each pair is killed simultaneously and go into the center of the barn, a pentagram with music and some unsettling satanic goats will come into the barn. For a more modern war type game, this is a pretty cool, eerie Easter egg, something that year's COD really indulged in. So many good Easter eggs in that game. With so many, you can't forget their successful new Battle Royale, Warzone. Northeast of the stadium, just in the forest, you can hear a little girl giggle. Super creepy, considering there's nothing out of the ordinary around the area. Finally, jumping into 2020's Cold War, getting straight to the point, late in the campaign, on the mission Break On Through, not following the orders on the mission that are given to you and heading to a blocked hole in the ground, breaking it open and heading through, you'll fall into a room with a map. Seems about normal, until you continue forward, where you find your way to a pitch black portion of the cave. Keep walking through with little light and you'll soon realize you're not alone. Zombies are stuck down there with you, and they've found their next meal. Considering you're the first in a while, such a great and scary Easter egg in my opinion, from one war above ground to another isolated and otherworldly one down below. I know zombies seem like a large portion of the video, but it is the creepy game mode of COD in a sense, or at least in the beginning it was. But considering that the games aren't directly trying to install fear into you, I think when you do find these, it is very unnerving.